Okay, I made it to a kind of a little section of hardwoods here. Couldn't find any nice pine groves that I liked, so got the old orange sled here, the Polk. I didn't need a toboggan because I plan on car camping, so, but I did need that sled just to go, you know, maybe back there. So I'm glad I brought that. Wasn't able to drive right up to where I want to camp. So we'll get the rest unloaded here and get the tent set up and get the stove going. Well, you can see the wind has picked up. Definitely blowing in the side of the tent there. A little out of breath. Set this thing up in a hurry. Whew. Just need to get organized now. I had a little shovel. So I scooped out the snow and some of the wet leaves. I guess I'll just leave it as is. Start up the stove and start drying things out to see what happens. Got to get organized over here. Get the hammock set up. But yeah, I think I'm ready for some kindling and get this thing cranked up. I want to show you what I did here, modification. Normally I'd have the chimney pipe going straight up out the roof jack, but this thing's so big and heavy, and I was tired of rain leaking in or snow melting. You know, you get a lot of sag as it is, so I wanted to get rid of that big heavy thing. I'm going to cut it out and put in a patch. Oh, the main reason, you can see there, pinhole there, and a big hole right there that I patched from embers and sparks and hot creosote blowing out of the pipe, falling back down. So I wanted to get it the hell out of here. So I put this 45-degree pipe on, little elbow, and the same pipe. I sewed in about a 10 by 10 inch piece of stove jack material. Let's go take a look. Even had a little bit, just enough left over for a little rain flap, which I don't think is, well, it's probably a good idea to have on the wall there. Rain leaking down. And then of course I need a little tripod to hold it. So I just bought this, I think it's 5/16 inch. No, it's 1/4 20, I believe, threaded rod, and then the little joints. So 3 pieces each. And I just did that because I needed the 20-inch pieces to fit inside of my plastic tote. So you got 3, 3, and 3, so 9 20-inch pieces. Make a little tripod to hold that. Get the smoke out of here. It's stable enough. The pipe doesn't weigh much, so we will give it a shot. Bought this kindling at a store, so I don't know how good it is. I'm hoping it's not pine. It smells a little green. No, it can't be. Either way, I'll get a bunch cut tonight. Once I get things sorted out and organized here. I don't know if I showed in my other videos, I bought some of these little, I call them little tumbleweeds. They're, I think they're like a waxy, a little bit of wax in them, just compressed wood. And these little shavings really take a spark or flame easily, and that's not putting fat wood you know, creosote and stuff into my chimney pipe. Hopefully the wax isn't even worse. But there's not a lot to it, so. And I even cut them in half. That's about half the length. I just get a little wood saw and cut them in half my vise, my workbench at home, because the whole thing's a little overkill for what I'm doing. So I'll go ahead and light it up. Okay, I think I'm all set. I have a little bit of kindling in there and the little waxy tumbleweed fire starter. Trying to make sure everything's ready to go before I start it and get it hot. Pipe's nice and tight. So we will light it up here. Oh, one quick thing I want to show you before we do. I don't know if you can see in there. I actually put a piece of titanium foil right there and then put the lid on to kind of act as a baffle to keep the flames from shooting straight up into the pipe. So I'm hoping to hold a little more heat inside the stove by doing that. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't backfire on me. There we go. Oh, come on, wood. I don't know about that. I probably could have cut it up finer. Got the damper open. Piece of oak. It's taken off. Looking good. And I didn't bother cleaning the window from the last trip because once it gets good and hot, it'll kind of clean itself. It's pretty amazing how that works out. But yeah, it's looking good. Oh yeah. Oh, little large yet. Medium size. Looking good. I keep the chain bar oil in a old contact solution bottle. Keeps things nice and tidy. Of course, I had to bore the hole out about 1/4 of an inch so it would flow. Stick it in there and give it a squeeze. Keep it nice and clean. Well, I'm finally getting organized here. It feels really good. Got the temp up in here. Decent amount of wood. I didn't hang the hammock up yet, so I need to do that and probably lay out that green rubber mat right there for standing on underneath the hammock. Yeah, a little bit of organization to do here. Got a few beers out, some Coke, a couple apples back there, and the rest of my food is in that little box, in the black box. Starting to dry out. Got some dry leaves here. Got the table set up. Probably cook up some dinner here pretty soon. I got some leftover chili in a Ziploc bag, so I'll probably just dump that in that pot down there and get eating here. Last night when I was packing up, I actually had a frozen pizza for dinner, and I didn't eat it all. So I had a good idea. I thought maybe I'd just put 2 pieces in some foil, and you know, there's a decent amount of heat underneath there, so I think I'll just do that. I wish I had a piece of metal to put underneath there to reflect it back. Actually, I could probably sacrifice that. Nah, I'll leave it there. Anyway, I think that'll work. I'll leave them there long enough and flip them. Maybe throw them on top quick. And have some, I think it was bacon chicken ranch or something. It was pretty good. So I think that'll be dinner number 1. We'll be doing dinner number 2 later tonight. All right, I threw the pizzas on top for a little bit here to kind of finish them off. Do a little pachanga. Not much else to talk about here. Same old stuff as last year. I guess if you didn't watch my old videos, you wouldn't know that, but you know, it's starting to warm up in here. The percolator for tomorrow at the cast iron. A little leftover chicken noodle soup in that bag right there, frozen solid. Drying out the socks. Got the lights up. Those are gonna be nice at night once the sun goes down here. Got the hammock up. And that is about it. Oh, even got the slippers. It's getting a little toasty with the boots on. All right, we're just finishing off the pizza here. We'll take a look. Oh yeah, oh, this is gonna be great. Lost a little bit of cheese on the foil. That's okay. Oh, that's good and hot. Oh, perfect. Thermometer thing right there, transmitter. Take a look. Heating up my leftover chili here. Looking good. Got it up to, what, 71 inside here, and 30 outside. It dropped quick. It was 50 degrees when I left, 51 or so through Lansing, and down about 40 when I got here, or 38. I found that the little baffle roof that I put inside there seemed to be limiting the flow too much. I think it was just too close to the actual collar on top where the chimney attaches to, so I think I'd have to drop that a little bit, but I really don't want to do that because then I'm limiting how much wood that I can fit inside the firebox. So I think I'll try to pull that out tomorrow once I let the thing cool down. But it's doing okay for now, just because it kind of caved in a little bit when I was in there stirring with the poker rod. Cleaning up my chili mess, which was very good. Okay, it's the first morning here, about 7:30. Get my sleeping clothes here, just kind of not really drying out, but I always do just in case there's any moisture in them from sleeping. My top coat here did get damp like it usually does, so take a peek outside here. Gosh, it just doesn't feel very cold. It's 28. Got down to 27. A little dusting of snow. So I think today's just going to be a cut more dry firewood day, because yeah, that oak, even though it looks completely dead and dry and ready to go, it was a little bit wet. Burned fine, but I want to mix it with some drier stuff, so that's going to be the plan for today. Okay, the moment of truth here. Not bad, not bad. Messy on the edge there. Okay, we finished up breakfast here. It was very good. I'll do a little cleanup here. Burn some garbage. Oh. You'll be pretty easy cleanup here on the cast iron. Okay. It's the old Wagner number 5. from, I believe, 1921 or 1922, somewhere around there. Works out great. Fits the stove perfect. Good for one person. Couple eggs, couple pieces of sausage, and has a real nice seasoning on it. So the stove, this is working out really well with that stove jack going out the side door there. I don't have to worry about any sparks or embers falling on the roof and burning holes. I suppose it could still happen if the wind blew just right, but I think I'm going to be okay. I'll talk about stoves a little bit. You know, if this isn't your thing, it'll be completely boring to you, but this is the Pomoly T1 Flame, I believe it's called. I bought it last year and use it pretty hard. It works out really well. It works a lot better than the Lux Outdoor. And it's the 3W or W3 titanium stove. It's the little sheet metal stove that you put together. It doesn't fold up quickly like this one. It's just harder to assemble, and it was a lot smaller, like the size of a shoebox. It just didn't really heat the tent that well. So I actually sold that one online and sold it real quickly, which was nice. So got rid of that one. So this is the only one I have now, and actually I do have a second one. I decided to, or I thought I wanted to bump it up to a Nyko Packer, which is, I believe it's about 9 by 9 by 23 inches. This one's 8 by 9 by 15 or 16. So the Packer, I wanted to buy that and try it in here just to get a lot more heat and quicker and more efficiently, and maybe even burn on throughout the night or most of the night. But I got it, I set it up, I put the titanium pipe on it, 4-inch pipe, and I did not like anything about it. It's just, what a total waste of money. It's just big, heavy, dirty, rusty stove, and I gotta paint it. It doesn't fold down, so there I am. I'm stuck with a, you know, packed size is 10 by 10 by 23 inches. So that's 2 feet on my toboggan. That's gone. Just didn't like anything about it. It doesn't have the window. I gotta have that window. I know it sounds stupid, but just like right now I'm having, you know, just sitting here, a cup of coffee, dead quiet out here, nice and relaxing, and short of listening to the radio or a podcast or something or reading a book, it's just nice to have something to do. And even if that's just sitting here watching the flame in the stove, that's kind of what I do. So kind of back to this stove. I'm kind of stuck on this one here. I wish they made a larger, you know, maybe a 10 by 10 by 16 or 18 would be absolutely perfect. They did just come out with a larger one. It's the T-Brick Ultra. That is something like 8 by 9 by 17. So we're getting there. But it's got a smaller window in front, and the whole side is basically glass. And I know that sounds cool, but I can't do it. Having that wood sitting up against there and having this thing glowing red hot. I try not to, but sometimes it does anyway. You know, you get it dampened down really well, and you get a lot of heat going, like that one log just sitting there. It's just kicking those flames out to the side, and I just don't like having that super hot wood, you know, leaning up against that glass. You know, I know it's probably not going to break from the heat alone, but yeah, dang, I wish they would just make a version exactly like this, but a couple inches larger in each direction, and I think that'd be absolutely perfect. So anyway, I got that Nyko Packer sitting in my garage. I even sewed a nice case for it out of heavy Cordura fabric, so it's kind of a shame, but I just wasn't feeling it, didn't like it at all, so I'm going to stick with this one until maybe something a little larger comes along that I like. But for now, it does well. It's 28 outside and 71 inside here, and nice and comfortable. So that's that. There's a ton of firewood right there. Now that I step back and look, I probably shouldn't park underneath a dead tree hanging right over me. Okay, certainly have plenty of firewood now. Bunch of nice, I believe it's maple. I'll cut some of it up even finer for kindling. But yeah, I'm glad I pulled that down. Might be in the gray area of browning down. Don't know if the DNR would consider that down, but it was on its way. A little bit left over there, or quite a bit left over there too. I think I'll lean it up, save it for someone else, or if I ever come back here, keep it from rotting on the ground. Some leftover homemade chicken soup. Chicken rice and carrots. Oh yeah. Got a little snow picking up here, real light. Wind's kind of changing to the south here, so it's blowing the smoke back at me. But fortunately, I think when just the heat escaping from that peak there kind of blows it out, keeps it from coming inside my tent, stinking the place up. Had a major score here. Big cherry branch was down that I found when I was just kind of hiking around. Might some other old stuff mixed in there from before, but yeah, these big sections, some wild cherry. That burns real nice, so I'm gonna chop that up and throw that in the stove. It's time for brats. Got the bun down there warming up. Just the pre-cooked cheddar, nothing fancy. Okay, got breakfast going here. Had a little bit of coffee. Some blueberries and grapes, a little bit of OJ left over from yesterday, and the usual eggs and sausage. So, a little mess to clean up there. Very windy today. It's only 29. I was expecting to get down to about 22. It's about 9 o'clock and haven't even been outside yet, so we'll go take a look. I took my hammock down, make more space. Real breezy. In the process of taking everything down, I'm mostly packed up here, letting the coals burn down. Stashed the firewood somewhere. There's a ton there I didn't use, so we'll come back and do that again. It's a great trip. Glad I made it up, and looking forward to the next one.